Hello, this is Lisa Lee, and welcome to this week's Pick a Card reading. We are looking at this question of what love is meant for you. In Patreon, we've been talking about ecosystem and that every animal in the ecosystem is born to do something in the ecosystem. There is not a single thing in the ecosystem that we are a part of that is born of the earth that we're all born of that does not have a purpose or a place. And so knowing that, understanding that at a very basic level of nature doesn't do things outside of its own order. So if everything in an ecosystem has a purpose, so do you. And so part of it, what it is to think about having a purpose, being with purpose, is also thinking about this notion of you were born for certain relationships, and certain relationships were born for you. And so we're going to be looking at what love is for you. And everybody has different love that's for them. So it doesn't necessarily have to fall into the category of romantic, but are these 3 cards? Yes. All right. But we're going to be looking at all forms of love, but we're also going to be looking at romantic love, and we're going to look at what this love looks like. And so we've got 3 different piles here. We've got pile number 1 is the sad belly. Pile number 2 is the flying pig. And then pile number 3 is lucky, the lucky one with a lucky belly. And then the bottom of the deck energy, which I like to show you in case all of them do resonate, the mirror. Now, with a reading like what love is meant for you, usually I say with a pick a card that if the bottom of the deck energy calls to you, then it's possible that all 3 piles are calling to you. And so that is true here with the mirror. What is this saying to you in terms of if this resonates to you, that the mirror is the love that is meant for you, then there might be something in all 3 piles. We'll see, because this is one of those topics where that might not lend itself as well, but let's take a look. So pile number 1, we've got the sad belly. Pile number 2, flying pig. Pile number 3, the lucky. And I will see you again in a moment. Timestamps are below. Okay, pile number 1. So we have the card yearning. And actually with the sad belly, I this is going to be the long-awaited, something that, and I'm even getting the sense from listening to your guides right now, there's something here about the love that was received wasn't even of quality. It was there might have been some love that you've had or that you've had experiences with, but it was more someone took something, right? And so with this yearning, longing for something, undesired separation, kind of pining, a lot of sadness here in the belly, a lot of grief, we have this feeling with this card that's almost waiting, and all of that waiting with not the fulfillment leads to a very bad feeling. But also I can't help but feeling with this pile almost the love that I had was so crappy and so terrible, and it took so much time, and now it's over. That's all that there is. And so it's actually this feels a lot more like a past bad love story that wasn't love, and now there's this feeling of a yearning, how do I get to that place where love, the love that I long for, that I yearn for, is actually there. And again, I can't help feeling with this card that there's some unrequited love or experiences with unrequited love. Yeah, 2 things for this pile. I have 2 things coming through very, very powerfully. 1, you had some relationship that lasted a really long time that was not love, and now the thought of finding love seems there's a latent life or something like that. That's one section of this energy, of all the energies that are in here. The other section seems to be unrequited love, a lot of unrequited love, and so just this feeling of hopelessness around that. And so we're gonna see what love though is for you. What do your guides want to say about this circumstance? Because the circumstance is kind of where we're starting this reading, but where does it want to lead us in terms of what is available, what's coming, what love is for you in life, what love is for you in your life at this point. Pile number 1, let's see. Cards are sticking. Whenever the cards are sticking a little bit, it's our guides are really working on it. Okay, right there. The 8 of Cups. Yeah, walking away. I felt that very profoundly. The 6 of Cups. High Priestess. Six of Swords. Wow. Okay. Truth. All right. So your pile, and I'm going to have a little bit of water because that caught in my throat. I felt this so powerfully with the yearning card here that like Eight of Cups, something was like walking away. There was so with the Eight of Cups, it's like your emotional investment, hopes, dreams, like everything that was invested. So there's something here about you walking away from what love wasn't, something that wasn't love, something that maybe you had been pining after, or something that you had but that still wasn't love, that left you in this place of yearning. And so it looks like with this Eight of Cups that you walked away from something that you had put a tremendous amount of emotional investment in, and whether it was emotional investment in love that was not returned unrequited, or it was emotional investment in, like, it feels like a false love or a faulty love or kind of like an extractive love. Now with the Six of Swords though, your guides are very much saying you were meant to leave. You were moved out of it. It's not just that you walked away from the situation. This is one of these like rejection is God's protection. And I can't help feeling like this card, I keep on putting my hand on it and getting like the sensation of like a long time. So whether it was a long time unrequited love, or a long time waiting for something, or a long time with the wrong person, it was a long time. Like I can't help getting away from that. And so this Eight of Cups of like walking away from something, and your guides are saying, actually, we moved you away from this. And you probably did have a physical move as well. And we're going to get into that a little bit, but this is kind of speaking to what was. Now here with what will be, you know, the love that is meant for you. I want to get more cards because, so where we're coming from is Eight of Cups, Six of Swords. You left something. Where we're going to though, like this is soul family. Six of Cups is nostalgia, it's family, it's children. And I feel with the Sun card here that, you know, this is a strange feeling because this feeling here and this feeling here are a little bit at odds to, like with each other. Because like I cannot escape some sense that this was a long period of time with this yearning. But with the Six of Cups and the Sun card, yes to family, yes to kids. What love is there for you? Even though I feel this like, there's something here with this that is very significant to you. And I think, because I something about these kids is standing out to me, especially with the Sun card, because the Sun card can also signify a type of pregnancy too. Now, why is that so hard for me as a reader? Because this feels like it was 30, 40, 50 years. I mean, this feels like a very, very, very long time. And it feels like walking away from a tremendous emotional investment that almost may have felt like a type of like amputation, might even felt like a type of social suicide even. And the Six of Swords here though, it speaks about like moving you into this place of like, there's family, right? But I have a very strange feeling about like the disappointment that whatever leaving this was, there was tremendous disappointment and kind of a lot of anguish about like family, like, or leaving family or something with family that seems very contentious. Because this feels like this when I say this love that is for you includes family, it includes children, and it might include a pregnancy, but it's kind of hard for me to tell. This is interesting. Let me get more cards. Where's the deck that I want to work with? I thought I had it right here. I have a missing deck. Well, we're gonna work with this one. That's okay. I thought I had this other deck here, but this is okay. So I want to see a little bit more. I'm going to use this one as well. I want to see a little closer with the Sun card here. So there's something here that like, I don't know, like, why does this feel so hard, right? What kind of love is for you? Family love, children love. Like there will be children that are in your family that you love, right? Now, whether there's a pregnancy, this seems like I have to pull more cards on it. There's this offer here. So there's somebody that you fall in love with, and part of that package does seem to be family. But what I'm trying to figure out here with the Sun card, because it's not clear to me why this feels like a crowd. So that's why I thought I said like, okay, well, soul family. There's some kind of feeling here with soul family. There could be some kind of a pregnancy here with the Six of Cups and the Sun card. So it's very, very possible that like some of the love that is meant for you is this, you know, experience of family. It could be grandchildren, but there's something here about this Sun card that it's striking me as like a crowd. I gotta find out why. With the eighth house of intimacy, investments, and the note and destiny. Okay, with Mars. Huh. So the energy here is like, this is a relationship with a person. Now, the funny thing about this is that this person who you're going to come in contact with, the first thing that's going to like shock you a little bit, I almost feel like it's going to be sort of like surprising, is the force of the desire that is involved in bringing you together with someone else. This was feeling like a group, okay? And it's confusing, but it's feeling like a group. So there's some kind of a group dynamic, something about what you're passionate about, something where you had a lot of, and this person's really attracted to your strength. You may have worked with this person before, because there's something here about the way that you take action, the way that you do things, that this person finds like extremely appealing. Now, why there are children, that I cannot not see that there are children involved here, that this seems to be somebody who has a family or wants a family. And so why this seems like a crowd is, I think that the way that this happens is a little bit unconventional, because something about the way that you take action like ends up with the intimacy, eighth house here, investments, intensity, contracts, sex, erotic capitals, secrets, mysteries, obsessions, inheritance, stalking, the underworld. These two cards together tell me that there is like some kind of like fiery attraction between you and whoever this person is and whatever this person represents. But that fiery attraction, like the North Node came out in reverse. And so there's something about this destiny that feels like it was blocked. And that's kind of what I'm coming back to in terms of like whatever this yearning here, in terms of longing for someone, undesired separation, pining, having to walk away from a situation where your guides are saying, not just you walking away, but we are bringing you towards this thing that you want in the way of a relationship and in a way of the family. But the irony here is that like there was something about this that was always destined, and that destiny was somehow blocked. And it might be because of like unrequited love and the focus in that direction, or love that was like, it felt wrong. It felt like exploitive, right? So to the question of like, why does it feel like a crowd and why does it feel like kids? I'm going to get a little bit more here on what this means with the Sun and the Six of Cups. So why does it feel like kids? I think you have a child with this person. If you don't have a child with this person might already have children. And if you don't have a child with this person and this person doesn't already have children, there's something about this person that you may have known them in the past. And you may have known each other when you were children, because whatever this destiny was, it got blocked, it got circumvented. Things like that do occasionally happen. So let me I want to see this story a little bit more. I want to understand the Sun card. And I want to understand why there seems to be the crowd there. What is this? I think you're going to have a baby with this person. If that seems impossible, it feels like it almost is, but it's still very much there. Why is the Sun card here? Why does the Sun card feel like a crowd? That's something that doesn't make sense to me. Why does the Sun card feel like a crowd? Two of Pentacles. Balance, all right. With the Lovers. It's not a crowd. It's very much a person. But this person has a lot to balance. Oh, I see. So this is the thing. This person probably has some kind of a following. This person probably has something that they do that puts them very much in a public eye. I'm like, why does this feel like a crowd? What is this feeling like a crowd? So there's something about this person who has some sort of like a visibility. Now, let me get more on the Six of Cups, because it's like you have to balance. Somehow you're gonna have to find a balance. You're gonna have to find some equilibrium, some way of handling the fact that there seems to be like a lot that goes on around this person. But it is just a person, right? So when it comes to this person and it comes to the fact that there's a lot of people around this person, I still want to get some answers to this question of children with this, because I actually can't deny that that's absolutely there. And this feels like 50 years. So this is again like a little bit of a, one of you knows the answer to this mystery. So let me see what this children, what are the children about? Let me get some information on that. It's going to be a very playful relationship. So this person is going to teach you how to play again. They're going to show you what it means to play. They're going to help bring some balance to you. And that Sun card shows me that like there's a group. There's some kind of a group. And something about you being like up in partnership here with, so like these children, okay. This is why I like the cards, because we get to like solve a mystery a little bit here. This person has a lot of people behind them. They have a lot of people that are around them. They're in some form of leadership. Whatever that leadership is, it's some kind of mentoring kind of a situation. And so it's almost like there are children there that you share love, freedom, enlightenment, and healing chaos. There are children there that you share, but I'm not really sure that they're little children. I think it's very possible, be open to this. I think it's very possible with what this person's work does and the way that they, whatever their leadership, they're going very quickly towards something. They seem to have kind of like a parental vibe. A kind of a leadership sort of a way about them. They're helping people grow. And so I don't think that this is like baby children, although it can be. For some of you, at least one of you, this looks like it's children and pregnancy, right? But for somebody like, you know, and again, like this is a group, so you pick up what feels like it's you and what feels like it's not. But for some of you, like being open to the idea of being kind of like a different type of parenting force in the world, a different kind of like almost like a reparenter with whatever this person is doing. There's a lot of love there, and there's a lot of freedom there, and there's an enlightenment that you bring that causes this type of healing chaos that isn't just about you. It seems to be about whatever this work is. So this does seem to be like work that heals others, work that helps others. So I want to take a look at, and Lover's card, yeah, so it's like one other person. Nine of Swords, though. I wonder what that's about. Because the High Priestess and the Four of Swords here talks about, it's your voice. It's the voice. And the Four of Pentacles is about healing. All right, so let's take a look and see what that's about. Let me take another deck of cards. I want to use these. So this High Priestess and this Four of Swords. So the type of love that there is for you is, first of all, there's a love that answers to the experience with whatever this yearning, whatever this unrequited, whatever this loss of love, or it feels like loss of opportunity is. Like an answer to that is like a really beautiful relationship that is incredibly passionate, where this person teaches you how to laugh again. And there's something about the two of you working together to help like parent something somehow. Let's take a look at the High Priestess and the Four of Swords and see what love is meant for you. And so that High Priestess does, this is somebody who's on stage. And so there is some love for you in relationship to your voice, in relationship to what you have to offer in the way of a message. The High Priestess is usually very silent, but in this card in particular, if you look, she's got a microphone. And there's definitely a crowd here. But with the Four of Swords, it's like something that you do from home. So let's take a look and see what this is. What is the love here for you? So where this is like a relationship with one person, a very loving relationship with one person, this seems to be a relationship like more with what you do. So what kind of love is there, Alchemist? So the sun, yes, something that you do for sure. The sun's coming up twice here, so I see a tremendous amount of happiness in the love that is for you. And especially with the sad heart kind of belly, I almost kind of want to spend a moment here just sort of thinking about this Eight of Cups and the Six of Swords really being taken away from something that you put a lot of emotional investment in. It may, and I felt this tension here, it may feel like this is not real. There's no hope. There's no way, you know, there's no one, you know, because this is really painful. This is really difficult. And a lot of times like hope delayed and delayed and delayed, we'll just have, the heart will kind of just shut down a little bit. And so whatever this relationship is, this is going to be something that comes in with the force of 1,000 suns. It's fiery, it's passionate. It's probably going to knock you off of your boots or whatever. But there is such a strong component of bringing something into the world and raising it up. So that's it, but this is very much a person. Now with High Priestess here over here and the sun, again, like there's a lot of love, not a little bit, a lot of love, a lot of happiness, a lot of brightness, creativity, a ton of creativity. And with the Alchemist here, let me get more information. At the bottom of the deck, we have Pluto transformation and allowing. The love that is for you here and the fact that allowing this transformation, there's probably something that you do. And with the Four of Swords, I can tell you've been through battles. I can tell you've been through hard things. And I can tell that what it has meant for you to go through these hard things is to develop some kind of a voice. I would even say like maybe even a kind of a platform. And so there's love for you in relationship to that. But there's something here that your guides want to talk to you about in the way of changing the way that you're doing things or changing something about what you are doing. Because the Alchemist here and the allowing and transformation with Pluto means that the love that is there for you in relationship to what you have on offer that is of this healing process, something has to change. Let me take a look. Because with the right alchemy, the sky is the limit. With the right alchemy is the right, is the love that you will have, right? There's love for you in the form of a group of people. And I felt the group of people over here, but now I'm feeling it here. So there's something about you having a group of people, or maybe like you're sharing the group of people, but the love that you have in relationship to this group of people comes from something that you do that is like your healing is their healing. And it might be that this has to wait until you have some level of healing. So let me go ahead and see what this High Priestess is really talking about here in terms of the love that is for you. Let's see what we've got. Judgment and the Eight of Swords and the Five of Wands. When you're finally able to look at whatever you're doing right now and say, this is not working the way that I want it to work. This is an Eight of Swords situation. I feel trapped in what I'm doing. I feel trapped. I have to shed a skin. So there's a skin that you need to shed. And I guess that with the Five of Wands, like the reason that this is coming up is there's something here in the way of like competition. There's something here in the way of Eight of Swords. It's a trap. And it has to do with your voice and it has to do with your healing process. And while there is like a ton of love here for you, it requires, so like whatever the work is that you're doing, there is a world of love that is meant for you in relationship to that work. The reason that Spirit is giving this with a bit of a caveat is that there's something that has to change. There's something that you have to allow for this transformation to take place in order for you to begin to like actually have access or receive this love. Like some alchemy has to shift. There's some skin that you have to shed here. But I want to look at that because I want to see why your guys are bringing this through in this way. So let me just get some more cards. So this change that has to come in, I feel like you're already doing some version of what you're meant to be doing. and it's just not working out because the Four of Swords has you like down after a battle. Like there's some battle with this, and so they're both sides of your spread. On this side, it's like, you know, after something went so wrong, after such a battle, you know, all hope is lost. But there's like this, but no, there's absolutely no hope lost. There's somebody, there's something, and it's for you, and it's really passionate and beautiful and amazing. But as far as this goes over here, what the love that is for you, that is meant for you, right now there's like a trap in a competition. But I think with the Judgment card and like shedding the skin of whatever this is, let's find out why our guides are bringing it this way. Why are your guides bringing it in this way? Your self-awareness, your life force, your spirit, your creativity. There's love for it. What has to happen here in terms of the alchemist? What has to happen here in terms of the alchemy? You have to make a decision. Let's see. Beginnings. Yeah, something needs to start. And so your guys are saying, you know, that there's growth to be had. So any kind of like feeling that you might have, like all love is lost, like there's just too much pining, there's too much like time lost, there's too much something here, yearning unrequited. Whatever it is that your guides had you walk away from, that you had so much emotional investment in, it must have felt like jumping off of a cliff. But your guides saying that they brought you, that all of this has been to bring you to a place, like they're saying like we are transporting you from this place of yearning and this place of hurt and this incredible feat of moving away. They're saying we're transforming that, because really what's happening here with the Six of Cups and the Sun is those things that you had hoped for, those things that you had longed for, they're going to take a different form than you expected them to take, or they're going to happen with a different person than you expected them to happen, but they are going to happen. And as far as the love that is for you in relationship to the work that you do, you're going to have to start over. There's some new beginning here. There's some new way, and there's no, like all of the value of what you have has to be alchemized. There has to be some new way in which you like step out of whatever this competition trap is and begin to really grow, because the growth span is going to lead to this new beginning, this inspiration. Therein lies the love and the appreciation for the work that you do. It's not there yet. And so it's like you're on the right track with the work that you're doing, but I think you're at the wrong venue. You're in front of the wrong people. Something like that. And so like with this adjustment where you're meant to allow for major transformation and growth within yourself and a new beginning, that's probably doing something that is like, again, you're doing the right thing, but in the wrong way. And so your guides are basically saying like, you know, as you shed this old skin, and this old skin looks like the Eight of Swords, this old skin looks like the Five of Wands, and to step and decide to sort of step into the sense of your, like the sense of self and the sense of truth. This is like the floodgates open, because this looks like the sun and this looks like a sun. So it's like this new beginning is where you get the recognition and the love that you deserve for what you have brought through with your healing. And so there's an alchemy of adjustment related to like shedding an old skin. But every single time you speak the truth, and I think you speak it with love, yeah, with the Hierophant here, this is actually, your guides are saying that your guides, with the Knight of Cups, yeah, your voice is your voice, your truth. That's going to offer you the love that you deserve. But you have to let a transformation take place. So the love that is for you is a love in career. The love that is for you is a love in partnership and family. This is love that's for you. This is going to take a unique shape. And this is going to take some adjustment. But King of Wands, this is coming. And this is going to be very passionate, very fiery. So I'm going to leave that there. Pile number one. I hope that was helpful. You've got some really beautiful love coming your way. Okay, pile number two, when pigs fly. Let's take a look and see what love is for you. And so with the wave of power, a surge of power, an upswing in energy, an exhilarating movement. Here's the thing about this pig when this pig flies. I get the distinct feeling because it's a pig that's flying, you know, like it doesn't, the psychic stuff is very strong here with like this wave of power, you know, in terms of what will knock you out of feeling like the love for you exists when pigs fly, right? And so the truth of the matter is, whatever kind of level of like disbelief you have around love, whatever you have in the way of like, I don't think it's real, I don't believe in it, like it's for other people, like whatever that when pigs fly kind of feeling is, this love is going to come, like it's going to be such a wave of power, so like such a surge of power that comes in and knocks you off your certainty around what love has to offer and what love does not have to offer. This wave of power, like upswing of energy and exhilarating movement, I get the sense that you can't even picture it. You can't even really, like, you're like, what? But this is something that like your guides are saying your energy is going to change. Like your actual energy is going to change. And when your energy changes, this love is coming. This love that is meant for you is in relationship to a major shift in the way that your energy operates. It's going to bring in a lot of, your guys are saying you're going to feel alive. It's going to, like this feeling of I'm alive and this is alive and there's nothing I can do. There's almost a 12th house of surrender here. I felt that. Like when you fall in love, like the heart wants what the heart wants. Like I'm getting very much this feeling of you're not going to be able to help yourself. Whatever this is going to have, like it's like a force of nature. So the love that is for you, you're not going to miss it. There's nothing you can do that can miss it. There's nothing that you can do. Like I actually feel a little bit of anxious avoidant kind of energy here with this pile, and you're not even going to even be able to like anxious avoid this away. that's how much this is going to call for a level of surrender. And so let's see what else our guides want to show us about this wisdom Saturn. Okay. Saturn is an interesting energy to come in here. Let's take a look. Let's see what else comes through. 6th house of craft. You're probably going to meet this person at work. It's going to flow very clearly. But there's a complexity. Okay, guys, I felt that there might have been a complexity. With the 8th house of intimacy, this is like there's a lot of sexual attraction. There might even be a little bit of obsession here, I'm not gonna lie. So there is some love that is meant for you that comes in the form of, I'm getting a feeling this is somebody else's obsession. Now, it doesn't feel scary or like gross to me. It doesn't feel like the gross kind of obsession. It feels sort of just like a way in which you capture someone's interest. And there is a level of complexity here because with whatever this surrender to, so I felt like this surge of power, this energy that is like, it literally like overpowers, because I hear the phrase, the heart wants what the heart wants. So there's some like surrender to a love that you would otherwise try to fight, it seems. And with the Saturn here, it's like there's some limitations around this, but it has to do with work. So there's some aspect of work here, and that this is just kind of, I see this as flowing together despite there being some levels of complexity. So let's open this story up a little bit and take a look and see what Spirit wants to show us about this. So it's an intense, like, this person with that 8th house, this is deep, intense, like Kundalini sort of like mysteries and secrets and sex. Like this is a lot of, I almost want to say that there's something about this that like I gotta see what's going on. I need some more cards. This seems a little scandalous. I want to find out more. Yep. Whoa. Whoa. All right. Damn. What an interesting set of cards to come out with, like, what love is meant for you. All right, so let's take a look. Let's get into this, because under the 12th house of surrender, we have the 7 of Wands. So there's a lot of defense against this. And it's possible that you are like defensive against love period. Because what I'm seeing here, at first glance, I thought, like, is somebody gonna like fall in love with somebody at work? And like, it's complex. It seems like there might be, like, it could be a third party situation. It doesn't look good. But the more that I look at this, and the more that I kind of feel into it, I kind of think that this is like, let me just take a minute and look before I, what the heck is this? All right, all right, devil at the bottom of the deck, and with the intimacy, 8th house, like, I want to say that there is a sexual attraction at play that is the devil. There is obsession. There's very much an obsession here. And I don't think that obsession is good. And I feel like if people are like nursing like levels of obsession, it's not a healthy thing. It's not a good thing. But this is a love story, right? And it's a love story that is for you. And so there is something here about this. It's kind of like a psychosexual obsession, you know, because there is the devil card here. With the 8th house of intimacy, and 8th house of intimacy, that's an obsessive energy, right? But it's also a sexual energy. And so whatever this wave of power, this person's interest like has an effect on you. Like, you definitely like catch this wave, right? However, you have a bunch of defenses against this. Like, my sense is like, you don't like this. It doesn't immediately like strike you as being a positive thing. You have a lot of defenses up against this. I gotta get more information. Tell me more, because like, I'm just gonna, basically, whatever this intense like attraction ends up being, what it would mean for you to surrender to this, there's like a defense involved. You're defending against this. You don't want to forgive something. It might require you to forgive something. There's something about the 12th house that is also of like a spiritual nature. And so there's something about your nature. And the 8th house does have underworld qualities too. Wow. Let's get into it. Let me get some more cards. This is a complicated love that there is for you. This is a powerful energy, but there is, I gotta say, there's something about that 12th house, something about that spirituality, something about that like unseen that goes with the underworld of the 8th house. Secret. And that obsession here with the devil and sex. Let's get some more information. 9 of Wands. Breaking point. Let me see the story on this, because the Saturn is about like limitations and restraint. And with the Moon card here, there's something confounding what would otherwise be like limits. So something loves you, or something is in love with you, or there's love for you that almost strikes me as otherworldly. It strikes me as otherworldly in terms of that 12th house of the unseen. It strikes me as otherworldly in that underworld. And then there is a sexual aspect here and an obsessive aspect here with the devil. And I do feel with this wave of power and this 9 of Wands that there's some kind of breaking point about, you know, around whatever this defense is, that's sort of like pierces a veil, or, you know, because the Moon is like the veil, right? And then Saturn is going to be the limitations, like you can't, you know, you cannot pass. But with the 6th house of craft and the 10 of swords, I'm almost going to say that like whatever your work is, there's been a major betrayal. There's some kind of major betrayal that happened at work, around work, with this energy and the work that you were doing together, with this energy and the work that you were meant to be doing together. This is actually like the love that is for you, pile number 2, in this pile of like when pigs fly. Like, I think this is really when pigs fly. Like, this is how odd, or like interestingly, like the Magician. Yes, right? So like I see the craft of the 6th house as being magic. I couldn't help but see that like I couldn't see it any other way. Once I started to sort of like feel my hands around and I'm like 12th house, 8th house, like this feels supernatural with the moon and Saturn. Because Saturn is usually like the grounding, practicality, like, you know, maturity, discipline, structure, you know, that kind of thing, control. But the moon is like the complete opposite. And so even with the 12th house and the 7 of Wands, like this defense against whatever this is, the moon being like really like breaking some kind of a rule here, some kind of a limitation in terms of like, is it real? Is it not real? Like, what is it? And then this craft with the Magician tells me like there's something here about this that is of like a supernatural kind of a quality where one of you might be dead. The Fool card and the 7 of Pentacles. It's a new beginning. So the love that exists for you is really mystical and there's a lot of defense against it. It might even freak you out a little bit. So I'm going to get some more cards because I honestly don't want to leave it there. With the Fool card, there's a new beginning here for you with this because you've got the Fool card twice. This is complex. I'm not going to, the complexity is very obvious. But there's something here, man, because with that trine and the flow to the 8 of Swords, this craft and this magic to the 10 of Swords. Why? Let's get some more information. Let's get in here with this and find out what we're looking at. The Magician and the craft and the 10 of Swords. This person probably went through it at a level that is like, it cannot, This person might be in trouble. So the love that is there for you, there's some sort of breaking point. You've been alone and holding this with the 9 of Wands is like holding it together. Actually see somebody putting together like IKEA furniture or something by themselves and like cursing and having a meltdown around just needing one other person to hold something. So like that's the feeling that this 9 of Wands is giving me. And so there is this sort of breaking point or something that has sort of broke you in relationship to some level of isolation maybe, or having to hold it on like hold it all on your own, having to battle on your own. And so this wave of power, this upswing of power, this surge of power, it might overwhelm your defenses here a little bit and bring you into a space where it's like, I don't know what's going on. I don't know how this is possible. I don't know what this means. And with the Magician here, I need more information about all of this because the Fool card twice says that there's some sort of a leap of faith in a new direction that makes this something. So let me get some more cards. I want to see what this 10 of Swords is. Show me what this 10 of Swords is. Show me what this 10 of Swords is. The Mountain. And the Sustainer. With the Prayer. What's this one? And the Desert. We're in like the mystery zone with your reading right now. Because what I'm getting here in terms of this is okay. This is supernatural. There's no two ways about it. Is it real? Is it not real? So like the physics and the law of nature and like nature's rules, like, you know, the tangible, the Saturn, the gravity, the grounding, this puts a wrench in that. Like this basically puts you in a position where you are having experiences, having even maybe feelings, being taken in some kind of a way, and it shouldn't be. It can't possibly be real, kind of a thing. And so with the 6th house being about the work that you do, your well-being, your health, your skills, this energy is coming in as like a supernatural force to help you and assist you around whatever this series of betrayals has been. So there's something about who you are and what you create that has caught the attention of some sort of a magician. And this is a supernatural situation. So even if this person exists with skin on, and they might, there's still some kind of like a, what's that? Kind of a spiritual aspect to it. I feel like this has been your experience of life. Like, and I want you to kind of look at this card, because here's this person, popular, talking to everybody, ha ha ha, life, everything's great. But then you see that like really this is somebody who has been stabbed in the back over and over and over and over and over and over again. And so whatever it is that has tried to like take you out, and when I say take you out, I mean put you all the way into hiding so deeply within yourself that like, in order for someone to get close to you, they have to be like a mountaineer. They have to have like mountain equipment and be able to like climb the you know, everything with, you know, so this mountaineer, all of the pain and all of the betrayal that you have had to endure. And somehow it has to do with whatever you do in the way of work. Or whatever you contribute, like whatever your life's work has been. And I see this splitting in two directions, like life's work and this, and then this, whatever your life's work has been, there has been something where like there has been some major injustice here, some major hurt here. And this has kind of driven you all the way inside of yourself and all the way away from people. And so this Magician card, this energy of the other worlds, is almost kind of coming in as an antidote to try and help you sustain through whatever this trapped position that you find yourself is. So this is interesting. I'm going to tell you with the desert here, I'm going to tell you why it's interesting. I feel like there's some reason why you are not, with this prayer card, able to connect with another person. There's like a prayer, there's probably some level of loneliness, there's some sort of an agony here, but there is some reason with complexity here, with the Eight of Swords here, that this period of time, that you've been called into a period of time, or you've been called into a life experience here, where you have, with the Sustainer card, had to sustain from a place of being trapped. Sometimes life will trap us. Sometimes we'll find ourselves in traps. You know, the free will, like wheeling, like life is so great. Whatever choice you make is the heights that you can reach. None of that is really true. For many of you and for many of us, we were born in a locked room. There are many people who were born in a locked room because of sickness, born in a locked room because of levels of like poverty, born in a locked room because of levels of instability, and what it means to climb out of that locked room and into relationships with others is really difficult. And so I feel very much that, you know, pile number 2, those that chose like when pigs fly, that's where the love for me is, when pigs fly. I can understand why you feel that. I really, truly can understand why you feel that. But there's something about this desert. There's something about this all the way inside, you know, all of the pain that has been inflicted upon you. And I do think it has to do with your life's work, but I see the life's work as being split into 2 different sections, like life up to this point and then life after that point. But I feel like you got hurt in both situations. I really get the sense from you with the 6 halves and the craft. Like this 10 of Swords shows me that you were willing to die on that hill of whatever that former job was. You were willing to die on this hill in whatever you're trying to do or were trying to do with whatever it is that you're trying to create here by way of your creativity and your service and your skills and your work. There's been a tremendous amount of attack and it drove you all the way in. And so this energy of the Magician is an energy that, again, it seems to come from another world. It really pushes the boundaries on reality, this love that is for you. And it's here to sustain you through whatever this period of entrapment. And so again, that trapped can be sick, you know, not feeling well. Trapped can be having to have so many demands on your life that you don't get to live. There's so many ways in which we are trapped. And so the message here with that is that all the powers of the universe seem to know that there are limitations on getting you out of this desert here. But the Fool card in two different places tells me that the prayer is going to get answered with some kind of a new beginning. But I still don't understand. Like, what is this energy? Like, is this a person who's really magical, or is this kind of like a spirit guide who loves you so much that this is what's gonna this is the access point, that there is not another access point in this period of your life, during this portion of your life. This new beginning here, though, the Fool and the Fool says, like, so it says here, even though you're in the desert, you know, even though you've been in this desert, whatever this desert represents for you, the complexity here has you there. Then there's some reason, and I can't figure out what that reason is, but I see it here in terms of like flowing with the wherever you find yourself right now, however like difficult where you find yourself right now is, the sort of Eight of Swords position where you just kind of feel like you're walking with the 10 swords in your back and you're hidden all the way inside of yourself, because everything you try to do just ends up, you know, exposing you to terrible things, and you're just going to hide out in the desert. That's the complexity, right? But there is a new beginning. Got the Fool card in two different places. So let's look at that new beginning a little bit here and see what we see. Because this is one of the more cryptic readings that I've done in terms of like, who is this person? A magical being. Is it a magical being with skin on? I don't know. It might be, but it doesn't have to be. And I think that there's something about this energy that is so powerful, that has the power to move you. And there's a sexual component. There's some kind of a sexual component here, where this energy has watched you, has seen what you've been through, knows who you are, knows what it means to be you, is here to help sustain you through this desert. And so let's take a look and see, with this fearless in conflict, what is that? And I hear my dog growling in the background. Exchange between worlds. I feel this, and the shape shifting. Okay. Bottom of the deck. Rhythms of the other world. This is an otherworld energy. Why is this otherworld energy like the love that is? Because I mean, it is, everybody's different, right? So there's some sort of conflict at play that is in relationship to whatever this Ten of Swords experience is. And I do think that you have had to do, you're like wounded warrior vibes, like 100%. So this notion of like, where's the love in my life? The love in your life is really complicated with that complexity there, because I think that your mission and your life mission and what you are here to, the answer, the prayer that you're here to answer, has less to do about less to do with put it this way, like rom-com, dancing into like a love story. This is a love story that would make a bestseller. Let me get some water. My throat chakra is acting up because it's hard to talk about. Whatever this love story is, it defies language a little bit. It's a little bit hard to talk about. But this fearless in conflict means whatever the complexity is here, whatever the conflict is here, and again, it has something to do with like this exchange between worlds, between the world that you're in and whatever world is represented by this 12th house and this 8th house. Whatever this like obsessive sexual kind of a thing is, it would make a great movie, but I don't think it is a rom-com. I think it's probably fantasy something, because this exchange between two worlds says, again, like there's energies between two worlds, that there's something a little bit frightening about this, that there's something a little bit confronting about it, because it's shape shifting along the lines of these rhythms of the underworld. And so like there's a very real thing with you where you have like, and I gotta find out, why is the Fool card here? You bring something new with this, whatever it is to be fearless in conflict, whatever it is to talk about this, whatever it is to engage with this, it ends up bringing about a new beginning. And so it's like your mission, the love that is for you, is almost related to this mission about, gosh, it's not completely clear to me. Let me see. I want to just get a little bit more on like, what is this? What is this Fool card? Show me the Fool card. Because there's some conflict that you have with yourself around this. This is love that's for you. And there's some conflict that you have around the fact that it's like slippy slidey. It's shape-shifty. It doesn't make sense to you. It happens in like rhythms. It doesn't make 100% sense to you. But there's something about your life putting you in this position that brings about a new thing. And that new thing is the answer to a prayer that you're here to answer. Yeah. All right. There we go. Okay, this one and this one. Okay. Yeah, the Death card and the Knight of Cups. Ah, right? The Knight of Cups is an offer of love. The Death card is another world. So maybe this person passed away. It's possible that the love that exists for you in the world, and I'm speaking to someone very specifically, this person may have passed on, but their presence is still very much with you in this mission, in this situation that you're in what it means for you to like move through the world doing a certain thing. And there's something about this complexity with the Magician again. This is a magical energy that it brings something new, right? It's just really confusing with that Three of Swords and that Four of Pentacles and that Three of Wands, waiting for life to offer you something in the way of the love that you deserve, and feeling like there's so much lack and there's so much heartbreak. So that new beginning is so confusing. Because the Ten of Swords and the Three of Swords are speaking, you know, in consort here. And the Four of Pentacles and the Eight of Swords are also in relationship. So there's something here about this like pressurized situation of waiting, not finding, having to work with not enough, and trying to move through some way of like medicating, anesthetizing the heartbreak from this desert situation. And so there's something magical at play in some of the love that is for you. And I think that like accepting that might be really difficult. It might be painful to think about it. Like, it's not, you guys are saying this isn't the only love that is for you, but this is part of the love that is for you, that for you to move through the world under these circumstances, you have some form of a energy with you, like a magician, a magic energy with you between worlds from another part of the world, that shape-shifting energy of the other world that is in love with you, right? This is what it's saying. This is the 8th house, 12th house. But the Devil card, it's sexual. There's no two ways about that. So what do you guys want you to know about this? Because whatever you're bringing in that's brand new, that starting over, that newness, it's in relationship to like all of that heartbreak, time to heal, yeah. And give with gratitude and grace. You probably know more about what's going on here than I could ever possibly imagine. This is like a really cryptic pile number 2, but it seems like you might know what's up. Take the leap of faith. All right, so see the big picture. All right, the leap of faith. Leap of faith. The Fool card symbolizes a leap of faith. That's if you like have a Fool card and you go to any like, you know, description of the Fool card, this is leap of faith. And so with this complexity and this desert, you're called to make this leap of faith that is in relationship to the healing that you have to do. And so there's something about a grace and a gratitude the universe has for you, and that in taking this leap of faith, you step into greater levels of magic within yourself in partnership with this sort of magical energy. And it's a bigger picture sort of a thing, which is why it's like a super confusing reading. So pile number 2, this is the stuff of books. I mean, this is the stuff of fantasy. But I do think if this is your pile, then you know a lot better what I'm talking about than I do. So I'm going to leave us here, pile number 2. I hope that that was helpful, and I will see you again soon. Pile number 2, I actually can't stop. I'm sitting here like I've already ended the reading, but I need like a tiny little bit more information. And so I'm just gonna I'm gonna keep on going for a second. I want to see why, like, the Fool, to take a leap of faith, in what direction? in what direction are you taking this leap of faith? Because this is a justice, okay. The 10 of Cups, the Page of Pentacles, the 9 of Cups, the 6 of Pentacles, and the 4 of Cups. You're not going to see it just yet, but there is so much happiness in what you're becoming, and there's a door that's opening for you that will give you some reciprocity when it comes to like the give and take of love. And even though you can't see it, there is justice in whatever is happening behind the scenes. This is like an angel energy that is with you. Okay, pile number 2, now we can leave it there now. Okay, pile number 3, we have homeland. So this person is going to feel like home. Let me move that P out of the way. So with this is going to be one of these things where I think you're going to say to yourself, like, I can't believe I'm this lucky. How did I get this lucky? This person's like, this energy, this love for you, people are going to say you're lucky. You're going to know the full story. You're going to know what it took to get there, but people are just going to think you're the luckiest person in the world. But there's something about this love for you that is homeland. It's home. There's a love for you in the form of home. And your guides are saying, I hear someone's guides basically saying that like you, like in your saddest moments, there's like a desire for a home that you just can't seem to like find. Yeah, there's a storm here. And the mask and the village. And this person and this energy and it's just, I think it's a person, but there's an energy here that is finally home. I'm finally home. I'm finally, like, there's belonging, there's home, there's settled. And so I almost feel like you may feel like you have been unlucky in love, or you have been sort of unlucky to a certain extent. There's something here about, like, you know, maybe it's like, you know, lucky girl syndrome or something. But this is one of these things that it finally pans out. You finally get what you had coming to you all along. Now, with the Judge, the Storm, the Mask, and the Village, this is interesting in terms of the love that is here for you. Let me get some clarifiers on this stuff. Because I see that the Storm means, like, there's something here about this person comes to you, that the love comes to you during this storm, at a time of storm. When you're showing your true colors to the people that are around you. Reputation. Bottom of the deck, you have this mystery with Cancer. What is home? Where is home? What does home even feel like? What does it even mean to have a home? What does it even mean to have a loving family? What does it even mean to have support? Like this mystery, the unknown, feeling at home in like the, This is interesting. I want to get more cards, because what I'm seeing here in terms of like the love that is there for you, Cancer and the doula strike me as the same energy as this homeland, this home. And so there is something about like you finally being home, you finally having that place. But it has a lot to do with your perception and your outlook. And the storm here related to your reputation, I gotta get a closer look on that. Because there's something here that you don't show the world. There's a part of you that you don't show the world. There's a part of you that the world doesn't see. Especially in terms of like your purpose and related to like, so like the love for you exists in the form of the village. It exists in the form of tribe. And so this is speaking of you finding your way home, finding your way to your tribe. But there is something about you unmasking here. And there's a storm that plays a role in that. Especially in terms of your perspective and your reputation. I feel like you've gotten a lot of like harsh judgment, wrong judgment, misjudged, misunderstood. And so this is somebody who sees you clearly. 4 of Pentacles, 2 of Swords, Three of Pentacles, and the 7 of Wands. especially with that King of Wands there. So this is speaking of, there's a whole tribe of people who want to love you, including, not just want to love you, that will love you. The love for you is a whole tribe, it's a whole group. But there's also this King of Wands character who is a fierce protector. The village here is fiercely protective of you. And what it means for you to take off your mask is also to begin building something really profound. Now, the Four of Pentacles and the Two of Swords with the storm here, I want to get a little bit more information on that, because there's something about your perspective and the way that you see the world that establishes you in terms of this 10th house, career, responsibilities, achievement, and confidence. The way that you see things, the way that you like are able to like judge things, but it's requiring some sort of a defense, right? So it's not just your perspective and the way that you see things, but there's also something about the way that people have misunderstood you or misperceived you. And this has sort of led to this Four of Pentacles hiding and this Two of Swords like blockage that this storm seems to upset. And in doing so, kind of the mask falls off, and then what it means for you to build with the people that you're meant to build with becomes accessible. And then over here, the village defends you. And there's something about this King of Wands as part of that love that is meant for you, that like once you find your home with this tribe, and I don't think it's that far off, we're going to look at what it means for you to find it. Part of it is to continue to speak from your unique outlook, your unique perspective. You've always had a mission with worldview here related to the 10th house, reputation. And so you've always had this perspective that was very, very interesting. But there's been so much cruel judgment, so much misjudging, that you have kind of like, the storm is sort of necessary in terms of what it is to get you out of hiding, what it is to sort of make you feel like you can communicate freely. For that mask to come off so that you can begin to truly build what you're here to build. Yeah, the Two of Wands is planning for it. Two of Swords, Two of Wands. You can't really see your way forward. There's a storm right now that is obscuring your view as to like who your people are, where they are. Yep, but it has something to do with your work, Judgment card. With the bottom of the deck being an Eight of Cups. So there's something you got to walk away from. So the love that exists for you is a tribe of people. It's a tribe of people that can see you clearly, and in seeing you clearly want to build something quite profound with you, want to build something big. They are fiercely protective of you, and they consider you their home. They consider you home. Not just you consider them home, they consider you home. And I don't think you've ever really had like people who defend you. I don't think you've even had this sense of family in quite the same way that I'm seeing this sense of family. And so there's a tremendous amount of love for you from these energies of family. One of them is this King of Wands energy, defending you, passionate about you. But this is something that your guides are saying, you know, it's for, you're meant to prepare for this, because there's going to be some work in what it means to get you there. There's a call to walk away from emotional investment in stuff that is not keeping with this outlook and keeping with what it is that you want to build with your life. Like there's some big mission here with you. And so part of that mission is this like deep desire for a home that you're not really sure where to find it. That's turned you into a seeker. And your perspective is incredible, and it's like necessary, and it's part of what establishes you. But you and this whole mess of judgment, and having to walk away from all of the ways that people have judged you wrong, all of the ways that people might judge you wrong, all of what it means to be judged, having to walk away from relationships that don't serve you, that aren't part of what it means to feel at home. There is a judgment call here that like comes in with this storm. Let's get some more cards on it. I want to see what that judgment is, because you're told right now that whatever the storm is, it's obscuring your view, and it's making you feel like you need to hide and like you don't have enough and that there's no way forward. But your guides are really wanting you to prepare. It's like you're standing in the sidelines sort of looking at like what it means for people to live life, and it's just looking like everyone's in performance mode. But your guides are saying, you know, like just, you know, you are huddled, you're not really able to see yourself forward, and like what it means to find these people, what it means to even like engage with them, what it means to like talk to them. There's a storm. Now the storm can be like some kind of an external thing that happens that kind of takes whatever it is that you're doing or takes whatever direction you've been planning on going. There is a walk away from emotional investment and something that is not serving you, that's not giving you enough, that's sort of blocking you a little bit. And so you're meant to plan on what it means to work towards, like working through this storm is kind of like sitting on the sidelines and sort of like looking at life and just kind of like toiling as you move. But let me see what this Judgment card is. Let me take a look and see what this Judgment card is. What am I looking at here? Magical encounters. All right. And the call between worlds. You know, the hidden world of fairies. Yeah, so this storm and what you're not able to see and all the hiding and all of the I don't know where I'm going and the kind of looking at the world from the outside and not really feeling like you're included, your guides are saying plan to work really hard. Because by working really hard, I don't mean like just like toiling. You know, there's something here about Eight of Pentacles where you're kind of building towards something. Build through the storm, work through the storm, because the judgment that is coming in from outside of you. So the love that exists for you in the world, and it's a lot of love that exists for you in the world, there is like an entire team of the hidden world, of the unseen, of the ancestors, of the guides, of these magical encounters and the call between world, the galvanizing that is happening, that is kind of pushing you out of this. It's not a comfort zone. Wherever you are has just not been working out. It doesn't work out. It's not working out. It's like toil and misery and not enough and Four of Pentacles and blocked paths and, you know, pain at the sight of all of your efforts. Like it's been bad. And what you have done though is developed some kind of a relationship here with like the other worlds and with the hidden worlds and the ancestors and the gods. Like there's some kind of a thing here with the magical encounters, the call between worlds, and the hidden world of fairies that tells me that behind the scenes, unbeknownst to you, there is a storm raging. And as that storm is raging, something is becoming really, really clear about who you are and what you're meant to do here. And there's something with the Three of Pentacles, very big, that you're meant to participate in building with. And so the love that you have in this world is so profound because it's going to be the soul family that wants to build with you, that defends you. But it's also, it seems like some enormous infrastructure with this Ten of Swords experience that you've had. Some sort of an enormous infrastructure of energies from other worlds that are really concerned about your well-being, because I think you've been sort of perfect. I'm not gonna, yeah, with the sacrifice. Yeah, I think that you have, with this well-being and this mother goddess carrying children and food and well-being, you have fed others. You have cared for others. You have been the paragon of good person. You have been the paragon of character. You have had a Ten of Swords experience despite all of that. And there's this part of you that is just like, I'm going to hide and I'm just cutting myself off. Like, I don't want anything to do with this world. I don't want anything to do with the people in this world. And that Eight of Cups actually is less about something that you have to walk away from, although I do see some of that. And a lot of it has to do with you just, there's a feeling that you have about the way that the world is, that it is just profoundly cruel, and like that, you know, people are just like power hungry, you know, it's just gross, right? It's not good. And there is a infrastructure of like the other world that is coming in to say, we've seen the sacrifices that you have made. Even if nobody else has seen the sacrifices that you have made, we have seen the sacrifices that you have made. We have seen what you have done for the other worlds and the underworld and the worlds. They have seen what you have done in the world that you are in. whether or not you realize it, there are powers and principalities that like very much pay attention, and they pay attention to what people do and do not do with power. They pay attention to what people do and do not do with the gifts that they're given. And for you, there is something about misjudgment. There's something about Four of Pentacles not enough. There's something about blocked paths. And your guides with Two of Wands are saying, plan to move forward. You are coming home. We are bringing you home. And in bringing you home, what bringing you home also means bringing you into your family, your soul tribe. And you're not going to have to mask anymore. There's something about you like having to mask, because you have to, you know, because otherwise people are going to judge you in some horrible way because they can't see you for real. They won't see you for real. There's some sort of a story or a situation that keeps you from really being transparent, even though you are such a good person. You are innocent, right? You are absolutely had the best heart, have always had the best heart, never didn't have the best heart, did nothing but sacrifice, did nothing but make the right decision pretty much in every place that you have been plopped, with the exception of some sort of like desperate insanity that I see. And that is just like, when I say desperate insanity, I mean like I see instances of you doing things that like maybe like would be questionable, but they're usually because of some kind of like break with reality. You as an individual seem to be like one of the most straight up, kind, like true to form, integral human beings. And this is not lost on the underworld. This is not lost on the other worlds. This is not lost on the upper worlds. And to the extent that you have felt like it's been lost in this world, this is where the love that is there for you is building a cathedral. It's building something huge. And like it, and what you're able to build and what you're able to create in this world is largely with you being able to finally take this mask off. So the love that is there for you in the way of soul family is not just the other world sort of like conspiring to put you in the right place, to move you through this storm and put you exactly where you're supposed to be, which is building something of great significance with others. But it's also allowing you to take off your mask in a way that's comfortable. And what you're going to discover is as you take that mask off, the village, the love for you that exists, there will be energies that are heavily defending you. King of Wands, heavily defending you with that Ten of Swords situation. And so whatever you have been through here, and I can sense there's something significant, your guides want you to walk away from any hopelessness that you might feel, or any kind of like feeling like there isn't a ton of love for you, because there's love. This King of Wands is going to love you powerfully, passionately, and then the soul family is coming in not only to be your home, and the dog does a little dance in the background, and to celebrate you, but also to build something really significant with you, and not just you, with the version of you that wears no mask, with the version of you that is transparent, with the version of you that doesn't have to hide anything. And the love that exists for you in the way of a defense is the size of a village. It's going to take a village. It's going to be a village. And it doesn't even have to take a village. It's just like there's a village of people that is going to stand between you and whoever might judge you and say like, no, no, no. That Ten of Swords, that's not this. And so the love for you there, you know, it has a lot to do with the outlook you bring to the world. And you're here on some major life like mission, some major world mission. And it's a hard one. It's tough. And so whatever that difficulty there is in terms of the ESP, the unknowable, the unknown with the numinous, other worlds, there's like a lot of other world stuff happening in the love that exists for you, and this strength here. Yeah, your guides are saying like this is not going to just be you trying to fight whatever this situation is. There's like a lot of strength. And so the Emperor and the Four of Wands, there's love for you in the world in the way of this Emperor, somebody who has a lot of dominion over a lot, and that Four of Wands speaks to a union, some kind of a marriage. So let's see. I want to ask some questions about this because it's not totally clear to me. I mean, we've got like the broad sweep, you know, there's a village, a tribe of people who are going to love you. They're going to love you for who you are, mask off. You're going to be building something really important with them. Right now, you can't see anything with that storm, but that's because there is stuff going on behind the scenes that is preparing you for the work that you're going to do and the place that you're going to be. There's karma, good karma coming your way. There might be people who still want to misjudge you, but there's going to be such a defense with that. And the Emperor here, This is someone with a lot of power, right? A lot of control, a lot of power, a lot of influence. And this seems to be some sort of a marriage here with the Four of Wands. And so how much love for you is there in the world? Pile number 3, you are lucky. You're luckier than you can possibly imagine, because you've got the love of a tribe. You have the love of like 2 individuals here. This King of Wands and this Emperor might be the same person, but I think I'm seeing a group. I'm feeling a group. So like family vibes, home. This is going to be home for you. So pile number 3, I hope that was helpful, and I will see you again soon.